and now it is time for my favorite segment of the show, the 5 stories the mainstream media refused to report to you. So I will. Story number 1, there is a video that is going viral online right now. An amazing dad teaching his adorable little daughter, this girl is so cute, an amazing dad teaching his little daughter that critical race theory is garbage. Take a look at this.
Daddy teaches you can be anything in this world that you want to be, right? Don't Daddy teach you that?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow, right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
Yeah, you can make friends, no matter what color they are. So we need to stop CRT, period, point blank. Children do not see skin color, man. They love everybody. If they're good people, they love them.
We pray for people that are hurt.
How adorable was she? So the dad's name is Corey Yeshua. Kudos to him. Kudos, Corey, for teaching your daughter right and wrong. The family, I say this all the time, the family is the bedrock of our nation. The ills of our nation, the cultural ills of our nation are almost always due to the breakdown of the family, especially in the Black community. So kudos, Corey, for being exactly what a father should be to your little girl. Did the mainstream media, however, did the mainstream media report on this story? No, they did not. Story number 2. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that children still wear masks and social distance. This is what they say, quote, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends the continued use of a well-fitting face mask for children and teens who are aged 2 years and older and not yet fully vaccinated. In addition to protecting the child, the use of face masks significantly reduces the spread of severe SARS-CoV-2 and other respiratory infections in schools and other community settings. The AAP notes, use of face masks at home also may be vital in households that include medically fragile, immunocompromised, or at-risk adults and children. Hold on a second. The use of face masks at home? Are you suggesting that a 2-year-old wear a mask at home? This is what they say. This is their quote. Use of face masks at home also may be vital. They're not just talking about COVID. The use of face masks significantly reduces the spread of severe SARS-CoV-2 and other respiratory infections. Okay, so now you want for every respiratory thing, you want 2-year-old children to wear face masks at home? This is from the AAP. The use of face masks, this is a quote, should continue until children or adolescents are fully vaccinated, which is 2 weeks after the final COVID-19 vaccine dose has been administered, I should say. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. Here's what I will say. You are the parent. It is your child. Just say no to masking and social distancing, of course at home, in school. Say no to other ridiculous anti-science guidelines from the AAP. This organization is not the boss of your child. You are the boss of your child. These pediatricians are betraying your children. Did the mainstream media report this to you? Did they report the absurd recommendations from the AAP and their anti-science background? No, they did not. Okay, story number 3. Blue's Clues, the annoying children's show, you've probably seen it. Blue's Clues featured on one of their episodes a pride parade in time for Pride Month that also featured, this pride parade in Blue's Clues featured a cartoon drag queen. It's hard for me to describe exactly what this video entails, how shocking it is, the level of indoctrination. So why don't you take a listen and a look for yourself?
Hey, Blue, look at all these families. Hi, families. It's time for a pride parade. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah. This family has 2 mommies. They love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Families marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. Families marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. This family has 2 daddies, they love each other so proudly, and they all go marching in the big parade. Come on, friends!
By the way, this is a Nick Jr. show, so if you want to let them know that you do not want your child watching this kind of indoctrination, why don't you respectfully and firmly tell them so? Give them some viewer feedback. I mean, can you, again, this is indoctrination, right? This is not tolerance. This is not inclusivity. This is indoctrination, and I don't make a claim like that without the evidence to back it up. Yahoo News reported, meaning this is out there. This is public information. A woman named Linz Amer, okay? This woman created the video series Queer Kid Stuff. She consulted for this episode of Blue's Clues on this video, right? So this woman who has an agenda about queer kids, if that's even a thing. Kids aren't supposed to be sexual. They're little boys and little girls. They haven't even reached puberty yet. This woman with an agenda to indoctrinate kids in sexuality and homosexuality consulted on this Blue's Clues video. This is, by the way, is why my daughter will not be watching television. Maybe she'll watch The Sound of Music or other wholesome musicals. She will not be watching weirdo children's shows, weirdo baby shows like Blue's Clues. Blue's Clues is not the only children's show to do that. Rugrats, actually, the reboot is going to feature a single lesbian mom. They are trying to indoctrinate your children in radical leftist ideology when it comes to sex and sexuality in families. Just say no as a parent. Did the mainstream media report on this story? In large part, no, except to praise it, with the exception of Yahoo, which did report this woman whose goal is to indoctrinate children was a consultant for this episode of the show. Story number 4. Google hired an anti-Semite, a Jew hater, as their head of diversity. Yeah, you'd think just a Google search could have prevented this from happening, but no. Okay, the man's name is Kamal Bob. He was listed on Google as the global lead for diversity, strategy, and research at Google. And this is what he wrote. He once ran a blog, and he wrote a blog post titled, "If I Were a Jew," okay? And it's truly horrible what he wrote. This is what he wrote, and I quote, "If I were a Jew, I would be concerned about my insatiable appetite for war and killing in defense of myself. Self-defense is undoubtedly an instinct, but I would be afraid of my increasing insensitivity to the suffering others. My greatest torment would be that I've misinterpreted the identity offered by my history and transposed spiritual and human compassion with self-righteous impunity." He writes, "If I were a Jew today, my sensibilities would be tormented. I would find it increasingly difficult to reconcile the long cycles of oppression that Jewish people have endured and the insatiable appetite for vengeful violence that Israel, my homeland, has now acquired." He sounds like Louis Farrakhan. That's how anti-Semitic he is. When this was exposed, Google refused to fire him. They wouldn't fire him. They just moved him to a different position. They said he's going to focus on a different area. They didn't fire this guy. He was their diversity lead, global lead for diversity. He's an anti-Semite, and they just said that they were going to move him to focus on a STEM research role. Unbelievable. Did the mainstream media report on this? No, they did not. All right, story number 5. This might be the best story of them all. This one actually absolutely slays me. Facebook used Peter Daszak. You remember Peter Daszak. He's the intermediary from the grant from Fauci at the NIH, who gave the grant to Peter Daszak, who subcontracted that grant to the Bat Lady of Wuhan, right? Facebook used Peter Daszak as a fact checker to fact check the Wuhan lab leak theory. The literal dude who funded the Wuhan lab was asked to fact check whether or not it was true that this virus could have been created or manipulated or altered in this lab and leaked to the public. Okay, I mean, you cannot make this up. This is unreal. This is mind-blowing. Okay, and what's worse, there's a little addition to this story. Peter Daszak, as of today, I believe, has blocked me on Twitter. Now, I don't understand blocking on Twitter. I don't have anybody blocked. None. Nobody. I don't understand it, but specifically in this case, I don't understand it. Like, do you understand that I will still see your tweets, even if you've blocked me? That doesn't prevent me from seeing your tweets? Do you also understand that it just makes you look hella guilty of funding gain-of-function experiments at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the fact that you blocked me. Because I've not said anything personal against you. I'm just talking about the money, my money, that you used to fund the Wuhan Institute of Virology. It's public record, and I'm just talking about it, and you blocked me. But did the mainstream media report on the fact that Facebook used this man to fact-check the Wuhan lab leak theory? Oh no, the mainstream media did not.
Hi. Before you go, let me talk to you about something. As you know, I've been censored on Facebook and YouTube, so I partnered with locals to create a censorship-free community. I also just launched my show, and I have a lot of exciting new things coming up that I want to make sure I can share with you and get your input on. I'm going to be sharing behind-the-scenes looks of my set and my show prep, and I get a lot of questions about my hair and makeup routines, my research process, and so much more. So I'll give you sneak peeks of all of that. I'll also be doing exclusive segments of my show just for Locals VIPs. All of my interviews will be shared on Locals for VIPs to watch as well. I'll be taking questions directly from VIPs for the video mailbag in my show, and you'll get the episodes free from ads. Who doesn't love that? Not to mention, I'll keep doing everything that you've already come to love. Ask me questions for live Q&As. Let's talk about your favorite books, what yummy vegan food I'm eating for lunch, and what ridiculous headlines I'm reading today. You can do all of that and more, but only if you are a Liz Wheeler Show VIP on Locals. The monthly subscription is $9 a month, but if you really want a good deal, we have an annual subscription for just $72. That's 4 months free. 4 months. So join me on Locals as a VIP. I'll see you over there.